Hey there. I can
Hello.
everybody I can see is looking good. Jennifer's out on a ride. She's cruising on a sunny evening. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Mike's chilling. He's on the couch. He's eating dinner. Katrina is under a fan. Tahisha she's out in the park and she's got her headphones on.
I'm at
I
Morningside.
I'm imagining you surrounded by a bunch of kids sitting crisscross applesauce.
Just me for today. Just
Okay.
me and Morningside Urban Farm over here.
And that's a beautiful setting. Yeah. Well, let me thank everybody for being on. We got a nice tight group tonight. And we can catch up on a few things, and we might throw some things out just for general conversation to get a little guidance and thinking going. But with that, we're recording. And before I go any further, let me do say that I watched Lauren and Mike and Jane do a fabulous, really, really powerful presentation last night with the cranky and pillbox. That just the reaction of the kids and the adults, it was just terrific. So congratulations on that. Yeah. All right. And with that, let me turn it over to Brian.
Yeah, I think it's such a beautiful day that I don't know if we're going to have everyone to tune in, and I don't blame them in a sense. But I like to follow up with Doug's lead here. I think most impressive things are not just what you guys have done in the last few weeks, but what's coming up too. So Lauren and Mike were at that event last night. Do you want to talk about the experience of that, Mike? Maybe we'll lead off with you.
Sure. Well, when I arrived, they were all gathered outside and they were praying. And I didn't know what to do, so I bowed my head and waited. And then I snuck inside and went up to the second floor, which is wrong. And then I found my way up to the third floor, which is right. And then when everything kind of finished up outside and people started coming up, first of all, the turnout was really strong. I mean, really strong. I never quite know what to expect. And so I tend to keep my expectations really low. And the turnout was really phenomenal. And uh, the response, Jane had us set up in a conference room, and the response, I mean, we did 3 performances, and the second one in particular, we packed them, and people were standing up against the walls and everything else. But the response in terms of what Jane's trying to do was so strong and so good. She's not here tonight because she's at Melrose Library basically doing it again. And I was like, "When I can't tonight, I can't tonight." But it really, I mean, it really caught people. It seemed to really catch people's attention in a really strong way. And so her work on this thing has been just phenomenal. So I was really, really tickled with the whole thing. That's all I got to say about that.
Thanks. And you're too modest to add the other part. The performance of that horse was outstanding. And I know that Jane made the horse, so she deserves a lot of credit. The muzzle manipulation to get personality out of that foam horse was fantastic. And the timing, we were saying at the event itself, we're saying your timing was impeccable, allowing for empathy at the most poignant spots. So fantastic job. It was great to see it. I'm glad I got to see it twice. And Lauren, you were there turning the wheels. Do you have any other observations on that experience?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really see people's faces or the actual like illustrations because I was behind the scenes. But I did notice that, well, I came in a little early and there was a group of, I think, middle or high school students that came in to do like the test runs and they were really great. And then I guess the thing that I noticed was I wasn't really sure what to expect as far as like the age range of people, but it seemed like just people of all ages reacted really well to it, which I always think is like a marker of something that's a success when it comes to art. So that I would say that. And then just like the rest of the event, there were lots of other really cool people there. I'm really glad I got to be a part of it.
That's something I think you're quite right. I noticed that too, that there was all ages. At the end of the second one, there was two little kids that couldn't wait to jump up and feed the carrot to
Yeah, they were super
pillbox.
cute. Super cute.
Uh, and Tahisha, I'd like to move transition to you because you had witnessed the trial run a little bit beforehand, and your feedback is very good to help us prep for that one. So I'd like to if you want to say anything about the pillbox and Dr. Burrell Day, that'd be great. And then I'd like to talk about what you're doing today out there in the field.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also got to see their first performance yesterday. I slipped in there and got out. I saw a little of the dance and intro things outside. And I it was, I think it was pretty moving. I I also got to chat with a few people there. There were several people there who were like, I was born in this hospital, I grew up in this neighborhood. So I'm sure it was very meaningful, directly connecting to the community there. But even not being from the community or knowing the history around that, I was like, this is pretty awesome. And the artwork was just so, it was, it was simple and easy to understand, but captivating. Um, I was watching Pillbox the whole time. I'm like, even though I know Mike has done it, and I looked at the script, but Pillbox had my attention, so it was great. It was great all around.
And what are you doing today out in the field and tomorrow?
So today we I feel like this came up from the idea of Hannah when she said they walked down the street at the event she organized, I think at Lick Run Farm some weeks back. And so I was like, well, why don't we do that around the neighborhood in West End to just kind of prime people in the neighborhood for what we're going to do the next day. So just asked for volunteers, and Mike's been busy. He volunteered, was willing to come out, and I learned that puppets are heavy. I appreciate people who walk the length of a parade with the puppets. But so we took one of the shield mask like puppets on a rod, and our signs advertising Daisy Arts Parade, and walked down from Hart Park Elementary and just made a loop to the park and back. And encountered families on the way, people you might not have expected. I mentioned that to Mike. I appreciate when we just can put it out there without expectations, because people we might not have expected were like, this one guy leaned out the window of a car and he's like, hey, did you make that? And I said, no, my friends did, but you can come join us and we can start learning, how to do this. So it was nice. And once we got to the park, I found out that the signs I posted have all come down. That's okay. So we were there in person advertising. And I'm looking forward to it. And at the suggestion of a few people in the past couple of weeks, I was like, did you all speak to each other? But between a couple of the neighborhood artists and yourself, Brian, mentioning about tying West African dance into the activation events, which in the beginning, I do know that we talked about it and I had the idea. I think we were still figuring out what we are doing, so it didn't materialize then, but now there's a way that we can see how to fit it in. Um, so tomorrow, we're gonna keep it easy. Jane's gonna be there with me making art. I feel like a couple of people are gonna be like, how can we make one of those puppets? Which will be great. It may be a bit more than we expected, but it gotta start somewhere and we can talk about what they would like to do. And we'll have a little breath work to just kind of, help us let go of anything that we might be coming in with. And where there's space in there, I'm gonna feel it out, have my speaker ready, and it just kind of crystallized today a perfect rhythm that we could dance around the Sankofa bird. Robin and Jane kind of tossed that out there. They're like, let's do something in connection with it that totally ties in with their theme. And so if there's space and it seems that, people respond to it, I think I'll just dance either way. And if there are people who respond to it, we can have people who can safely dance out there with us as we move through the parade. So that's what we're thinking now. That's what's happening.
Good. If there's any interest in making one in the neighborhood, tell them that we'll find a way to make that happen. So I can take a Wednesday, go there with everything and do it in the park if we have to do it that way. Or maybe at the Morningside, was it the center there? I'm blanking on the name now.
Well, the events are at Perry Park. I happen to be at Morningside, but at Perry Park.
Yeah, or the West End Center, wherever.
The West End Center, gotcha.
We got a place for it, and maybe in their playground or something like that, so it'll be visible. I'm starting to dream about doing things outside now.
Yeah, I didn't know we got perfect weather just in time. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Molly, do you want to jump in with, speaking of transition to perfect weather, you're out there too, aren't you? No, we can't hear you. No.
I think she's looking for the button, but, oh,
All right,
well,
no, I can't hear you.
while she's figuring it out.
Yeah.
Let me say that a highlight for me recently was being with Molly at Renaissance Contract Furniture and Lighting, who is the manufacturer of the bus shelters.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Molly has designed 3 bus shelters that are going in Southeast. And Molly was picking out color schemes for them. And there was a bat and there was a bee and what is the other pollinator? Something with, the bat, the bee, there's some other wings too. And that builds a little suspense. So when Molly figures out how to talk to us, she'll be able to clue us in on what the other one was.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you still see me?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so it's either or. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that was so exciting to go pick the colors and see everything is like really gigantic and not just on a piece of paper anymore. So that was amazing. But as far as the art parade, we are having our 3rd art night for Southeast tomorrow. And I think we've got a good groove going with what we're making there. And then on Thursday, I have an art parade night at Garden City. So it's like with their family night that they're having. We're going to try to get people in to make art at the same time. And I've gotten a lot of posters out. I noticed some of mine came down too, but most of them are still up. So.
Well, I'll just make more. We'll get them.
I bet they're on people's walls at home. I bet they see their souvenirs.
That's what I'm hoping. Somebody asked me to sign one. That was pretty cute.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks, Molly. Hannah, you want to jump in? I know you got stuff cooking too. Maybe quite literally.
Yes, here I am. Yeah, I recently had a giant trash monster puppet making day at the collective space, which was a really nice space to rent for an event like You know, just I wasn't sure what the turnout would be, but it ended up being just the perfect amount of people. And we was like, whenever you say this is not a trash collection event, we're making a trash puppet, please don't bring me your trash. But people did show up from like the Sustainable Roanoke group with some trash, but it ended up working out really well because I was able to tell them about a place in the neighborhood in that area where you can actually take your plastics and non-recyclable plastics to on Center Avenue, which is just down from 11th Street. So that was kind of a happy end accident. It was like we made a puppet, but we also talked about trash and recycling, which was really great. I just recently took a tour of Roanoke's sorting facility, RDS, and it blew my mind. Like everything I thought I knew about recycling was wrong. So that was a really cool overlap of like what exactly I'm trying to do here is make the Daisy Art Parade gatherings kind of a chance to get people together to talk about other things or just to bond and connect. And so that was really cool. And they made the coolest looking trash monster head. Just, you go in with materials and you say, have at it, and they really delivered. So I'm so excited to keep working on that and get that to be like a giant puppet for the parade. And it's funny because this is like nothing to do with the whole Roanoke Garden crew, but it just because it was hosted on the 11th Street at the Collective, and for making a parade puppet, it felt like a good opportunity to get people together and get excited. So that went really well. And coming up, I've been doing kind of modeled off of the inspiration of the drop-in work days. I've been doing Wednesday night work days at Lick Run Farm, and people can just come anytime on Wednesday between 5 and 6 and do some work on a deer head or anything else that they want to work on. And so that has been really nice. And I'm about to leave for 2 weeks. So they'll be on a break for 2 weeks. And then when I get back, I think I might collaborate with Hannah Marie, who has the Appalachian Arts Hub on 11th and Shenandoah, to host a few more drop-in parade puppet making events there. So that's my plan for now. That's what I've been up to.
That's fantastic. I'd like to work some more relationships with them there. I know you should discuss some ideas with the Appalachian Arts Group. So I see, Katie, hi, you want to jump in? Anything you'd like to bring us up to date with on the registration or anything like that with the parade?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am multitasking from my day job, so no camera today. Apologies. I've got my actually my first art build day for the parade coming up this weekend with Second Friday, which is a queer women and trans group at Maggie Perrin Key Studio. So we're kicking off this weekend, making a giant carabiner and key ring, and that's going to be kind of ongoing art days leading up to the parade. So excited about that, getting my hands dirty with some more paper mache. On the parade side of things, after this weekend, we're going to start opening up the volunteer registration and getting people signed up to help with the parade. A little bit ago, we got the good news that the location end of the parade permit has been approved. So we are certainly going to end the parade at Henrietta Lacks Plaza, approved by the city, stage rental, all that. Now we just need the traffic side of things to be finalized. So fingers crossed, everybody's super efficient on that. our registration has been open for about a month and a half now. And if I can open the right tab, I can share with you all how many crews are currently registered.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, drum roll, please. It's loading. We've currently got 14 groups signed up, and at least 10 that I know of that are not part of that pre-registration group, who are actively working on things. So,
Yeah, I
with
bet
2
there are a
months
lot out
until the
there.
parade,
Yeah.
strong start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And so do you want to talk a little bit about why we need to have early registration, what we do to line people up with registration, or I guess everyone knows already, but I don't know if you wanted to jump in and do that.
I don't exactly know what I have to add for that.
Well, I know you're multitasking, so I could probably jump in and just say, you know, at about a week or two before the end of the parade, we look at all of the groups and more of a description of what each group is doing, performing, if they have large puppets, if they have a lot of music or stuff, and then we try to put them in different parade marching orders so that each group is not combating with the next. So you don't want giant two giant puppets that are not necessarily related next to each other, maybe, because that might be confusing. You might not want to have a brass band marching right next to someone who's doing ballet and listening to music in a boombox, that kind of thing. So that's why big groups were asking to register earlier. So we have an idea how many people are walking in that group and how much space they'll need when we line them up on the street and where, in what order they're gonna go in. So it sounds like we're already starting to get that list together. That's really great. Anything else you'd like to share, Katie, with your other activities you got going on?
And
I know you're probably catching you multitasking on a bunch of things.
and I have a question for Katie too.
Go ahead and ask.
When I hear the keychain and the carabiner, I think of the musical Fun Home.
Oh,
But I don't know if
absolutely.
Is that it?
I mean, that's kind of the classic reference, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. I love it.
Doug gets the prize.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Katie. And then, Bebe, I see you're here too. Thanks. Is there anything on your Street Performers Expo side that you can bring us up to date with?
Hey, yeah. Um, well, the biggest thing is we reached our Kickstarter goal in time for the deadline for it. So thank you to everybody that helped push that and helped us reach our goal. So we're gonna start fulfilling all of the backer rewards for that in the next couple of months. That's really exciting to see the community come together for that. So that's going to be a huge help to you know, fund the expo and the board. We had a meeting recently to start contacting the people with the city to finalize, getting in contact with like finalizing street vending stuff and getting that in line. So it's good to know that the that your permit got approved, which means ours probably will be soon, because I know we filed ours not too long after yours. So hopefully ours will come in too. But yeah, everything we've been meeting with some local businesses for some other sponsorships to come in. So we'll be announcing those too. So we've had a lot of personal stuff going on. So despite that, we've been trucking along and we're feeling pretty good about it. So we appreciate all the support coming in from the community about it, and we're getting really excited. And I think that's about it.
Right, you broke up a little bit there, but I think we got all of it. And is there anything that you especially would like us to know about, to help with, or get the word out about?
Yeah, sorry, our internet is down for today, so I'm using my phone hotspot, so that might be why my connection's kind of bad. Um, let's see. Um, I think if we're gonna start putting out performer applications soon and vending applications soon. So I think if we have anybody that's interested in that, we could um promote those together. And I think you're pretty good about promoting those when we tag you in them and stuff like that online. So, and I think if we could get those out in the newsletter maybe for like any arts vendors and stuff like that, I think that would be good. And of course, with the performers, anybody that's interested in performing on the local pitches, that would be good.
Okay, yeah, as soon as you've got that, we'll send it out, and that's mostly Katie's working on that too. And Jennifer is here too. We put Jennifer more in charge of social media, and Jennifer has some fun plans coming up for how we can get the word out. Jennifer, do you want to jump in if it's a good
Sure.
time?
Yeah, great. So I've been making the rounds, collecting content for a while, so I'm excited to implement an actual plan and a calendar on social media and start um, really revving up and getting excited for the actual event. So, and I do definitely appreciate people reaching out and telling me about their events, about the drop-in dates that they have going on. Keep them coming, and I will get to literally as many as I possibly can. If you have multiple events happening, I'll just try to pull out a couple that are maybe the ones you anticipate being more highly attended or most visually appealing. If there's like a bunch of colors or you're towards the end of a project where things are big and that kind of thing, that might be better for pictures and translate better in video. But thank you so much for reaching out about those and keep them coming. Um, I One of the ideas we have coming up next week, Brian and at least a few others are going to take some of the kind of iconic, bigger puppets, including Frida. We're going to head up to the Roanoke Star and we're going to do a fun kind of mini activation, maybe pass out daisies and stickers and just get to say hi to the tourists and residents who are hanging out around sunset. Um, and part of that is to have some crossover opportunity with VBR, where we really try to promote itineraries for people who have never been here before. So in that spirit, we're going to visit Blue Cow Ice Cream at the bottom of the hill and then go up to the star, uh, meet folks, just have fun up there, um, and then visit the mural that John did down under the bridge next to Blue Cow. So just kind of pulling all the pieces together of something a visitor, but also a resident could do. A place, obviously our biggest attraction that's free is the Star, and then some place to eat, and then the Greenway system that has art integrated into it. So it's kind of a really cool opportunity and like intersection to play for both like VBR side and also the art side. So we're excited about that. It should be fun. We hope lots of people will stop and take pictures with the puppets and have fun that way. So that's next week. We've got a rain date if that doesn't work, but the other thing I'm working on is the website and coming up with a fresh kind of design, something fun and colorful, and using Brian, Molly, Jane, and everybody else who has those paper cut designs where really instead of like being able to digitize those um, original pieces and integrating those into the website instead of using kind of like stock things, I think will be really cool. So I'll have a separate communication about that with the tactile artists so I can get some of those pieces digitized and uploaded to the website. But I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping to be done by the time Brian is headed out of town. So that's around the 1st of April. But I'll keep you guys updated in the meantime. And it'll be a great landing spot for all this content we've been getting in the meantime to kind of live on in between social media and in between parade years and things. So that's all I got.
Do you need, anyone that wants to, do you need people to reach out to you about social media or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
So
great.
anything that you're doing and that you're coordinating what should go on Facebook and Instagram and all that. So that'd be great. We're also thinking about building a Dropbox for photographs. So I think, Katie, we have photographs stashed somewhere. And I think I should be paying for a Dropbox, so that's not an expense on your side of that. And then I see Jasmine is here. Jasmine, hi, I love this is your paintings on your page, isn't it? Yeah, she might have stepped up.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all that I had planned.
Tisha has her hand up.
Okay, Taisha.
So I just want to make sure, I know in the past few weeks we had talked about where to direct like social media requests. So anything that we're sending to Katie and or Molly temporarily, is that now going to Jennifer instead? Just to clarify.
Jennifer, you want to answer? I mean,
Yeah,
I mentioned.
I think if you want to send it to me, and then I'll help disseminate and delegate those who are helping and all that, that would be great. But if you want to send it to me, then I'll make sure it's kind of staggered or put in a calendar in a way that would make sense and hopefully be optimized for engagement. I do want to say that on social, as far as engagement goes, I think it's pretty experimental right now because the page is growing. So as far as like the best times and the best days and all of that, that's something that I'll be looking at and paying attention to. But if in the meantime, if you have content or if you have something that you'd like to push out, if you want to, you can definitely always email me if you want to send me a message in Zulip, that's totally fine too. Or even just tag the Daisy Art account, I'll see it. So whatever is easiest for you to get it to me, and then I'll make sure it gets posted.
And this is a Facebook page or is it Instagram also?
It's Instagram, and then I still need to get permissions to get into Facebook, but it'll ultimately be both.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you all.
I'll send you, I think I emailed you all of that stuff. Did that not work, Jennifer?
I think that was for the website.
The website
Was that-
and Instagram, the Facebook stuff. I'll have another look and see if I can send that to you.
I'll double check. I think
Yeah.
I for sure got into Instagram. I think it was the website info you might have sent, and then I think we might have been still waiting for the Facebook piece.
Okay. If I
We're
forget
almost there.
something like that, please just reach back out again or text me.
Okay, no
Because
worries.
it's probably just my tech phobia that is kicking in. But yeah, just send me a text or something to remind me that I need to get that to you. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
And Bebe put a note into you, Jennifer, on the chat about with her email address and wants to talk about collab pieces on for the Street Performer Expo side.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good. Jay, you want to talk about anything?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to thank you for modeling the T-shirt that many of you have gotten.
This is my gee, what time is it pose? And the I got a lot of them from modeling school. Okay. And Brandon's on. And Brandon, what are you working on right now? If he's able to pick up. If not, I'll make up things. Because I know what you're working on. Okay, well, Brandon may not be able to answer. He might have a young one in his arms, I'm guessing right
That's
now.
probably, yeah.
But Brandon is working, and where's Katrina? Is Katrina still on? Katrina's popped off too.
Katrina was here a minute ago.
Yeah, Katrina was on. Brandon and Katrina are putting, oh, there you are. Look, I knew you'd have a young one in your arms.
Yeah, you called it.
Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Hey, do you want to tell us what you're working on?
Yes, we are working on the Washington Park pool mural. Our last meeting, I showed a couple of sketches. I still have a lot of work to do on it, but we're making progress.
Excellent. I think I get to meet you on site next week. And
Yeah.
yeah. Well, terrific. Thanks for popping on and coming on with a guest star as well.
Yeah, I've been chasing them around today.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing. That pool house mural is going to be terrific, and there's going to be a timeline coming up where we're trying to get that ready for the opening of the pool. That's a big deal. That was a rough year.
Yeah.
With Washington Park without a pool for the community. So it's going to be fantastic when that opens. Natalia is not on tonight, but she was there. Caroline Booth, Brian, some folks were there at Arts Pop this weekend. We had one of the big puppets, or the bird that we had from last year, and everybody I was talking to said, "Oh yeah, they knew about the Daisy Art Parade." Yeah. Brian said he had the different experience, but so maybe I was, yeah.
Yeah, I think you intimidate people into having them pretend to have heard about it.
It was the giant bird and the scary worm hanging out of the bird's beak. But it was a really nice time. They had a big crowd of people coming through, very steady at Arts Pop, another time to kind of market what we're doing together. And then Natalia is working on the book club that happens on the other Tuesday nights at 7:00. And we've had about 30 folks steadily joining that book club conversation on Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. And that is an attempt to see how nerdy we can be. I mean, when you think about it, and we've got 6 weeks, 7 meetings, 6 weeks of reading where we're coming together. We've got a different guide each time. Our next guide is Ashley Wilson Fellers, who's in the catalog, and her husband, Thomas Fellers. They're going to guide us through a couple of chapters. Last week, Rachel Pence was there, and we're looking at the bugs, the critters that they find. And we're going to do a nature walk where we're going to dig into learn more about the microinvertebrates, the indicator species in Tinker Creek, and explore some for ourselves. Suzanne Thornley is going to lead us through a mindfulness walk. and some of those are gonna be on Saturdays. So if you see anything, posted that you're interested in and you're available, please come on out. You don't have to be reading the book along with us. But at the end of that, we are going to have some projects, some public art projects along that area that emerge from it. In fact, another thing we're doing right now, we are just now doing the contracts for the next round of sculpture on the art walk down at Elmwood Park. And one of the artists is moving back to Virginia. She's down in St. Petersburg, Florida. And she got so excited when I told her about this Pilgrim at Tinker Creek. She never heard about the book, but she's joining along with us now. And she's interested in doing a whole series of bug sculptures. So who knows where this stuff is headed? But that's the whole point in working with artists, getting people involved in the community, not knowing where we're going, building a learning community, and figuring it out together as we go. And I know that every one of you is doing exactly that. You're figuring it out as you go. We don't have to know exactly how it's going to turn out to put a first step up there. We can go out to the park with some critters on our back. We can go to Mill Mountain, engage people in a different way that is quirky and fun and joyful and just the spirit of what Brian has created with this. So thank you all. I know that it is not always easy, and we know that it is a risk when you step up to do these things. And that's why we wanted to work with artists, because we know it's also inherent in the identity of an artist to take risk. So thank you. I already see and feel that it's paying off. And that's the most important thing. And that's what Hannah's saying, when people come on in and, oh, let's make something. We want people to feel what it feels like. So thank you. You really, really are leading the way.
Yeah, and your courage is inspiring. It's inspiring to me. It's inspiring the neighborhood. So it makes it worthwhile.
Yes, yeah. And we're in a great spot working toward the parade. We've got a new city manager, we've got new council members, we've got people who are learning about what's happening, and I'm hearing people telling these new leaders in the city government, telling them about what we're doing. And I haven't been up there talking to them and doing that yet.
That's really good.
But I'm hearing other people doing it, which is even
that's what
better.
you want. Yeah.
So that's just a way to say, or something to say thank you. So thank you very much. You have anything else?
No, I think that's it. We're still we still like to try to get together on Tuesdays in person when we can. I don't think we have a date or anything set up for next Tuesday, but we'll send it out on social media when we get to it. And the next time we're doing a Zoom, I'm gonna be out of the country, so I might not show up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll have somebody leading the way for us.
I will, yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that are ahead of me anyway.
Yeah, and let me know what you need.
Sure,
Yeah.
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you all.
Does anybody else have anything? And I know Katie didn't say it, but Katie's got a big event coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, Katie, I was seeing if you wanted to plug it. Now you have to plug it.
I am pleased to announce that we are now sold out of tickets for Romeo and Juliet, the drag show at 5 Points Music Sanctuary on Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to that. I have to finish memorizing my own lines. But it is going to be a really great show, and there's a big group of Roanoke drag performers who have really put their hearts into doing some Shakespeare and some lip syncing in the spirit of Shakespeare. So if you've got tickets, congratulations. If you don't, I'm so sorry. Maybe we'll do it again. Maybe there'll be a couple spare at the door if you're really desperate. But thanks for...
All right.
Congratulations. I was on there looking at tickets the other night and I can't believe I didn't get a ticket. But I was like, I was trying to decide between like, do I want to sit upstairs or do I want to just stand? Cause I usually like standing.
Yeah.
But congratulations. That's fantastic. I'll get one for the next time you do it. Or you might just go through the entire canon of William Shakespeare.
I would
I
do that.
I feel it's gonna be as rowdy as Shakespeare could get.
Yeah. Excellent. Does anybody else have anything you want to plug?
I will be out at Floyd. They got their activation thing that you're talking out there, aren't you, Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to ride together, I'm game to drive if you want, or you might be making a bigger.
Well, I've got a partner going out there with me, so
Okay.
it might end up feeling more like a bus.
Okay.
But yeah, Ian contacted me and he wants me to do just a little bit of like just a small puppet show here and there. So it's like, so I'll be out there probably with my guitar and the goats and whatnot, doing my thing.
Excellent.
Yeah, they've got their
Excellent.
puppet. They make their puppet stuff and do a little parade out there as well. So
Yeah, and that's the Appalachian Species Parade. Yeah.
right, but that's 1 to 3 on Saturday out in Floyd.
Definitely Floyd. Yeah. Anybody else have anything? All right, well, have a wonderful evening. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take
Thank
care,
you.
baby.
Yeah.